Alright, there we go. Okay. So, we're going to try this. The phone says it's got memory to do this. We're going to see if it has enough memory to do it. I already tried this once. I was a little more open about what I was doing than I should have been. So, anyway. I'm in Salt Lake City. It's early December. And, we're looking for a load, trying to go back to Dallas because I got stuff I'm doing volunteering for the trolley this year and doing some stuff for some other organizations and stuff like that. So we're going to try to get back and get that done. Anyway, I want to tell you about an experience I had a couple weeks ago, like the beginning of November. I know it's been a while since the video, but I've been fighting with this phone. And I'm hoping to change it. I got my big camera back here, and I finally have a tripod for it, but I keep forgetting it at the house. So I got to throw it in the pickup truck and remember to take it with me. So hopefully that'll work. Let me see if I can kind of cut it down. So a couple weeks ago, I went to the shipper, and I wasn't supposed to pick up till 8, and I got there at 2, and I was allowed to park, and that was fine. And so, but I had started my hours already that day, and so 8 o'clock was going to be really late, and I was going to have to try to find a place. If they loaded me quick, I was going to try to find a place to park. And if they didn't load me quick, I was going to have to park there. And turns out I was able to park there. So 7:45 rolls around, I check in. Excuse me, get back into a door. It's one of those places where they require you to slide your tandems all the way back and dolly down, disconnect, all that stuff. And so I do all that. They load the truck and everything. And, they call me, hey, your paperwork's ready. I'm like, okay. So I go in, I get the paperwork, and I'm tired because I started at 8. They didn't load me until like 9:30. Start loading me until 9:30, and they didn't finish until almost 11:45 that night. And by that, then my hours are done. So I'm definitely camping out at this place. So I'm tired. Getting ready to fall asleep. I need to be up early in the morning because I got to head for Dallas and blah blah blah. I'm in Georgia, by the way. That's where I'm at. And so I go and I get all the paperwork, and I put the paperwork in, connect to the trailer, pull the trailer forward, close the door, seal it up, go find a parking spot, and pass out. And I got up the next morning, stretch, yawn, I think I got up at like 9 or something like that, because it turned out I didn't actually have to be as fat. Like, I looked at the paperwork, it wasn't due for like a day and a half, so. And it's a day from Georgia to Texas, to Dallas, anyway. So I pull out, and they check my paperwork, and I'm like, okay, see you later. And I go 2 miles to the cat scale to scale out. So I get over to the cat scale, I scale out, and it felt really heavy on the back of the truck. And I thought, well, it's supposed to be 41,000 pounds, so it's going to be heavy. So I scale out and everything, and this is what the scale says. And as you can see, it says 39,200 pounds on the drives. Well, that's not, and my tandems are all the way forward. I slid my tandems all the way up. So it's not that. It's going to be, there's definitely like sorry, that guy's sliding his tandems back and his fairing hit his tire. So I've never seen one that close, but anyway, so slid tandems all the way back, weighed it. There's no way that I can change weight. I can't slide the fifth wheel. I can't slide the tandems. Nothing. So I go back to the shipper. And I show him the paperwork. Look, it's 39,200 pounds. That's 5,200 pounds over. You need to do something about this. Okay, we'll get you a door. So they put me in a door right next to the office. And 3 hours later, it took them 4 hours the night before to load it. Now 3 hours later, they rework it. And they say, okay, paperwork's ready. So I go back in. And what they'd done the first time was they'd taken 41,000 pounds worth of freight, shoved it all into the nose of the trailer. And the problem with that is that it was about, lengthwise, it was, when you do that, it was only about half of a trailer load. So it needed to be spread out properly. And they didn't do that. They just shoved everything in the trailer and went, okay, he's good, and let him go. I'm like, okay. So they call me in, they say, your paperwork's ready, here's your seal, blah, blah, blah. And so I go and I pull out, and this time I look. It looks okay. I don't like how close the pallets are to the back of the door, but it looks okay. And so I seal it up, drive out to the cat scale, and I weigh it again. Now it's wrong. It's still wrong. So, and that's with my tandem sucked all the way up, all the way forward. it's like 36,900 pounds over in the rear now on the tandems. So I slid the tandems to 41 feet because that's where you need to be for Georgia. You can't be more than 41 feet from the kingpin to the rear axle, center of the rear axle. So I slid it there, still 35,900 pounds over. Okay, back to the shippers. Turn around, go back, and by now it's like noon or 1 o'clock. And I was supposed to be halfway to Dallas by then. And so I go back, and I get back to the shipper, and I've started my clock for the day because I was sure I was leaving. So I'm eating up my hours at this point. So go back to the shipper. It's still wrong. And they go, okay. And they back me in the door, and a guy comes out. I said, I want to talk to somebody this time. And they go, okay. So they send the guy out. He pulls me in. He goes, what do you want me to do? And I was like, I want you to load it right. That's what I want you to do. And they go, well, how do you want it loaded? So we talked about it and finally decided on how it needed to be loaded. And it was good enough at that point, let's say. And so I went back out to the Catscale, waited again, and this time it was close. It was close. It was like 33,990 or something on the back. And that was at 41 feet. So, which is not where I wanted it to be. So, it was close enough that I was skeptical about like going through a weigh station. So I was in an area where I could it was kind of your choice. You can go this way and it's a little faster, and that's the way the GPS wanted me to go, or you can go this way and it was all interstate, and so I went the way that was a little faster, and the way that was a little faster took me around the scale. I didn't go through scale. And when I did that, I got to Alabama and like immediately pulled into the first place I could, and went back and pulled the thing and slid the tandems further back so it was better. And when it was finally slid back, that was here's the ticket that I got. So I slid it back to the point where I thought it was. I didn't want it to go all the way to the back because the weight was so close. I was worried about it. So I slid it back to the point where it was like 33 on the rear. And that's the scale ticket for that. And then I left it at that. But that load rode terrible the rest of the way, all the way back to Dallas. And I don't know what it was. I've never had a load ride that bad. And I would hit a bump with the drives, and it would bounce me up on the back. And then the rear of the truck would hit the bump, but it would slam the trailer down into the fifth wheel real hard. And I swear it sounded like it was going to break something, an airbag, a spring, or the frame or something like that. But it was bottoming me out for sure on the frame, and it traumatized the cat. So Trixie's not with me anymore in the truck, and I had a video I was going to put up about that. But beginning that day, anytime the truck was moving, Trixie would just go straight into the litter box. And cats only do that when they're scared. And so I noticed that, and then we got all the way to Dallas, and ended up the load was they hadn't secured it. They said they had. I said, "You want straps?" No, we got airbags. Like, okay, you're sure you don't need straps? Like, yeah, okay. So they loaded it with airbags, and it came loose, and and it was like jars of Smuckers, is what it was, jelly. And I flipped it over. It had some of the cases had actually come loose, and had landed upside down by the back door. The place I delivered it to, they accepted everything, no claim for anything, so not worried about it. But then I noticed that anytime we moved after that load, anytime the truck started moving, Trixie got off the bed, came down here to the litter box, and got in the litter box. Cats only do that when they're traumatized. So a couple weeks after that, I discussed it with my mother at home, and I said she needs to be at home because of this situation. So Trixie now lives at home. She doesn't travel with me. Pepper's still here, right, Pepper? Pepper's back there. Hold on. There's Pepper back there. Hey, Pepper. Did you eat your bone? The lady at the... Good girl. All right. The lady at the security desk here at this place that I'm at gave her a bone. But anyway. That's my experience. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about it, and that you guys kind of could see what I had done. So the deal is, if something's over, you take it back and you get it reworked, because that's it's on you. I've had more than one person fight me as far as whether or not I should run illegal, And I'll tell you right now, the argument that I give them every time is my license makes me money. Okay? It doesn't make you money. It makes you money a little bit, but it makes me more money. And it's my livelihood. And I'm not going to jeopardize my license to run illegal because you ordered too much freight, or you promised that I could haul this or whatever. If I'm over, I'm over. And if I'm over, I'm taking it back. So, that's kind of the stance. And you have to have that stance. You have to have that stance when you're a company driver. You have to have that stance when you're an owner-operator. You have to have that stance when you're, a lease purchase guy. You have to have that stance if you're a temp, because it doesn't matter. If you get pulled over and you're overweight, it doesn't matter that your dispatcher was like, just fucking haul it anyway. They're going to give you the ticket. It's on you. So, keep that in mind. Hopefully that this video will exist and be put out there in the ether, and you guys will be able to use it and everything. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. I want to say there was something else I wanted to tell you. Can't remember it. So, keep trying to set it up. See you guys down the road.